So first, when we talk about financial planning, it's always about how we want to better manage our finances. But what makes it Islamic in this perspective? It's actually ada two elements. Okay, one talking about is emphasizing on this life and also for the hereafter, as well as we adhere to Shariah compliant financial management. What's the purpose of Shariah? Okay, we call it Maqasid Shariah. The Shariah aims is to preserve and protect, first thing first, faith, your belief system. But the next important thing is also about yourself, okay? Your family, your intellect, akal, as well as your wealth. All right, so what are the other things that are important when we talk about Shariah compliance? The three elements that being mentioned again and again is about prohibition of riba, which is interest, prohibition of gara, which is uncertainty, and maisir is an element of gambling. And any instrument within Malaysia saying is already certified as a Shariah compliant product, basically the scholar already look into these three elements. Another thing to highlight here are why again, it's always why is this element being being set as such is to provide justice between the parties involved for that particular contract. So first thing first, in the component that we're talking about is wealth creation. That's okay. What's next? We talk about wealth accumulation. When we deal with Muslim client, they have objective, which is to fulfill religious obligation to perform Hajj. When you are Islamic financial planning, you have this element, which is wealth purification. Zakat. Zakat is the allocation that for Muslim to put aside to pay to the specific recipient already specified in our book, from our Quran. Okay, the next part, wealth protection. Talking about risk management, you know that there's certain things that within our control, but there are also things that can happen beyond our control. One of the elements that under wealth protection, we talk about risk sharing by way of having takaful. The last part, wealth distribution. That is where whatever that in your possession become, we call it estate, to pass down to your beneficiaries. So first thing first, quite straightforward. Many people think about either it's as if like it's exclusively when we talk about Islamic finance, it's only for Muslim, for example. But that's not the case. If you somehow, most people or many people think when you want to go for Islamic financial planning or Islamic finance kind of product, the products are limited. Let me share with you few facts. For example, basically, if you look at that, there's about 900 over stocks in Malaysia. 80% of it are Shariah compliance. Okay, talking about Islamic banking products, it's already been offered by also the international bank, be it Citibank, HSBC. All right. So the next point we talk about, because a lot of time, if you aware of, we talk about not only for ourselves, it's also for our society, for our family, for the world. So it's being labeled like as if like Islam only for aid, welfare and charity only. But in a nutshell, that's not the case. Kenapa I cakap not the case? Because Islam really promote trading. Islam really promote you to acquire wealth so that you can make, if you have a business, you have to make it profitable business. And the last part, talking about Arabic term. So that's something that we need to check a little bit further to verify that. Okay, mandatory social obligations, zakat and tax. All right, and then talking about leadership role, we want to make sure the fair dealing, no exploitation. Right, and then talking about when you have a good business, you can create jobs. Okay, so come to summary. When we talk about Islamic financial planning, we talk about time horizon. We really very important that Islamic financial planning covers not only for this life, but also in the hereafter. And if all the principle, all the compliance or objective that we mentioned earlier is for us to be successful, again, in this life, as well and for the hereafter. Okay, and of course, the last part, as few example that I quoted earlier on, is about the method and objective must always abide the Shariah compliance principle.